It was time. The troops of the Absolute Evil had driven the Alliance back to their capital, King's Ending. The time for the final battle had arrived. Prepare to destroy the Alliance, and with it, all good in the... Once upon a time there was a kingdom full of flowers and rainbows, where the sun shone all the time and there was loads of that goody-goody, lovey-dovey good people stuff going on. There, the alliance of abominably good people lived in unearned wealth and prosperity. But there was a path leading to a different place there. At the end of this path was a rock. There was a cave carved in this rock, in which the Absolute Evil lived. It wasn't a grubby, damp cave smelling of muck and mildew, but a deep, dark dungeon, so dark that even darkness itself was afraid of it. It was home to numerous innocent monsters, who enjoyed a happy, contented existence, living in complete harmony with their environment. But time and again, the sickening, sweet-smelling good visited this underworld in search of treasure and experience points. Many monsters found this to be the death of them, but much worse, the Absolute Evil's treasures were being stolen. One day, just as a few more heroes had finished plundering its dungeon, the Absolute Evil decided it had had enough, and decided to do something new, something quite monstrous. Go to the surface. The Alliance tried to resist, but the approaching horde just flowed over them like an angry wave of axes, teeth, and bad breath. After numerous unrelenting battles, the Absolute Evil finally stood before the Alliance's capital, King's Ending. After countless battles, the forces of the Absolute Evil reached the Alliance capital, King's Ending. The laughable remnants of the forces of good had come here to make ready for the final battle. Evil would pay a high price indeed to storm those fortress walls, or so they thought. Suddenly, a rumble rose from deep within the earth. Stones burst asunder, revealing an ancient path into the depths. Out of the depths of Stygian darkness arises the invincible evil. With earth-shaking steps, the unstoppable evil began its trek towards the front. In the terribly improbable event that it may have forgotten how that works, a formidable help function has been provided. I said, with earth-shaking steps, the unstoppable, if somewhat sluggish evil began its trek towards the front. The presence of the Absolute Evil was also reflected in the land itself. Grass withered, and in places the ground tore open to reveal bubbling lava. Even the forest could not withstand the aura of the ultra, and beat a hasty retreat. A few of the Alliance units had entrenched themselves here. A determined Absolute Evil marched towards them in order to strike them down with its mighty weapon. evil had discovered a medal. These legendary awards ensured a creature could be made even more powerful. Only one downside: the creature could only wear one at a time. Eyes ablaze with greed, the insidious evil gazed upon the blood-drenched battlefield. Here the last defenders of good would die, and an age of evil begin. Projectiles from the Alliance's catapults darkened the sky, but the Horde's fighting skills were at their best in darkness, if they survived. Nothing and no one could stop the invincible. Absolute evil strode like a war god through the defenders' ranks and smote them with ease to the ground. And then suddenly, the absolute evil hit the ground. The day was saved, and good had triumphed. The Alliance lived happily ever after, whilst the defeated forces of evil had to eke out the remainder of their miserable existence underground. No, of course not. In reality, absolute evil was not defeated, but, just took a little comfort. A short while later, it arose once again. And the absolute evil took yet another hero to the slaughter. The forces of good never had a chance against the absolute evil. Nothing and no one could stop the invincible evil. The absolute evil destroyed the defenders' camp in the east with the greatest of ease. Now, only one tiny camp offers any resistance to the absurdly evil evil. And even that won't be able to hold out for much longer. The forces of good never had a chance against the absolute evil. Absolute evil destroyed the defenders' camp in the west with the greatest of ease. The defenders in front of the city had been beaten to a pulp and defeated. Now the time had come to attack King's Ending. The final battle beckoned. The city gate was firmly barricaded by the Alliance's archers, but the absolute evil would not allow itself to be held up by such a ridiculous impediment. So, go get them! Destroy them now! Oh yes, sorry, stay in character. The absolute evil used its all-powerful magic to eliminate the archers and open the gate to the city. The absolute evil had a good, long think, but at precisely that exact moment, it decided to act and to deploy its overwhelming magic powers. But this proved to be a complete fallacy. It would appear that the distracted evil was not aware that it should use one of its powers here, something that could have been done with ease via the GUI. If in doubt, the formidable help utility could also have been consulted on the matter. Secretly, the confused evil was debating whether it wouldn't be much nicer to watch a series of My Little Unicorn. All this stuff about evil campaigns was just so totally overrated. The defenders of the city were mightily relieved. Obviously, the sluggish evil had got tired of the siege and lost the urge to spread evil all over the world.